Hi, Joy. Welcome to BizTalk. That's my great pleasure having me today. How are you?
I'm doing great, Max. It's so good to be here. Thank you so much for having me.
The pleasure is mine. So let's start talking about your business.
Yes, my business is called COSDEF Financial Services, which is fondly called COSDEF Finance. And the startup went operational 3 years ago, where I run a training center that we train entrepreneurs and small and medium-sized business owners. And I noticed that many of the participants that came to our training center from rural areas and semi-urban areas used to find it difficult to have access to financial services that can serve them. Why? Because conventional banks don't take the risks to actually finance SMEs because they don't have the right landed collateral security or any kind of security that can guarantee the loans that they are giving out. So, because their finance was created with the mission or the objective of powering business dreams in local communities. And when I talk about local communities, I am specifically talking about rural areas and semi-urban areas. And that is how we went operational 3 years ago. And as at now, we have been able to finance 600 plus businesses in over 4 local communities in Cameroon. And we have a team of 13 people working for us. You can see on your screen that is part of our team that work for COSDEF Finance. And we are consistently looking for better ways that we can help small and medium-sized business owners in these local communities to access efficient financing that will enable them to enhance their businesses to consistently grow. And we have people that we have financed from agriculture to fashion, to education, to healthcare, and food processing, carpenters for those who are into furniture, those who mold blocks for building construction. We have financed all these different types of businesses from various areas. We have been able to break even 1 year ago, and we are able to be profitable. But of course, we are still growing as a startup because we are not yet at that level. And I can add that we are experiencing more demand than we can supply as per the weight or the size of our capital as a business financing institution. And so far, we have been able to get the good banking or banking management software that we can use to manage our clients. But we are also in a stage where we are looking at adding mobile technology services to be able to serve our clients more efficiently so that we can meet them on time, meet their needs on time, and also not excluding people that will need these services to efficiently access our services. But notwithstanding, we also know that people in our local communities don't yet have access to smartphones. So where we are right now, we're serving kind of a two type of market. Those who already have access to smartphones and those who don't have access to smartphones. And our dream is to see that in the next couple of years, like our 2025 vision is to see that we have been able to open 7 branches in semi-urban areas across Cameroon to serve this market that we have. And we have a large size because we still have large number of business people that do not have an account or don't bank with any conventional bank and don't benefit from any professional business support like training, consulting, and financing. So we're able to bring this into one institution where we train you, we provide technical support in form of consulting and coaching, and of course provide financing and follow up to see that their business is sustainable and it is growing. And as I said, we're able to finance 600 plus businesses, and we have about 300 that have been able, that we have refinanced 3 times. They have come back for loans about 3 times to consistently scale their business to another level. So there are people that we have started them from startup to growth stage, and we are now financing them to scale their business to the next level, like opening new branches, getting new equipment, getting new staff, and accessing new markets as far as their businesses are concerned. So that is the brief of COSDEF Finance, and I will get questions.
Thank you, John. Absolutely. Thank you so much for your pitch. And I do like what you're doing. And I've been talking to few entrepreneurs in Africa for the last couple of months. And I can see how difficult it is for many people get into finance, right? from retailers to companies, business. It's pretty complicated to get the finance you need, all right, for the business to move on and to grow, and also to start, and also for people to live. Now, regarding your company, let me ask you, which kind of finance are you providing to which kind of companies? Are you financing only SMEs, or are you financing also, for example, startups where getting finance is very complicated?
Yes, we are financing both. For startups, we try to provide we try to work with them also to make sure that they have the right business model, they're able to make money, or they have the right mindset and skills to be profitable. Because for SMEs, most of the SMEs I work with have already been in business, and they just need to scale or become better, improve on their efficiencies or how they do business. But for startups, we get to work with them and we get to finance them in the process. Like we have one of our recent businesses we have financed, which we do debt financing, so we give them the form of a loan and we give them a duration that is very flexible and very that fits their model. Like one of our recent business we financed is a local radio station, a commercial local radio station that we partly finance their equipment acquisition and all of that. And we gave them about 2 months of grace to operate before they start paying. And in that period also we're providing support on how they can market their services, get radio adverts so that they can make money and all of that. So we're providing that whole support package for them, from technical support to financial services, so they can start a well. For SMEs, one of the major things that we do with them is to make sure that they have the right financial systems, they have the right structure to manage their business, and which enable us to also track their progress and be able to see if they are able to pay back the debt financing that we're giving them.
Thank you. Wait, are you providing, you're not only providing money, you're providing also, the way how to grow, right? You advise them
Absolutely.
how to,
yes.
maybe to marketing themselves, how to grow the business.
Yes.
And what's the sides of the financing you've done so far?
It's going to be very funny, but this is the practical thing that is happening. The lowest financing that we have given out is actually $100, which, of course, as we said, we have people that run very small restaurants, for example, and $100 is a lot of money for them to actually buy foodstuff and cook and resell for even for about 2 weeks before they come and refinance if need be, and so on. And our highest financing that we have given out is $10,000 in terms of converting into dollars, the highest that we have financed a business as an institution. So again, as I said, we are targeting specifically small businesses and of course startups that are in these semi-urban areas and local communities that will provide this financing. And of course, what we're also experiencing is that we have businesses that started with us and they're already growing consistent in a way that they are planning to ask for more money. For example, we have one of our clients who he came to us when he already had a land. He ran a primary school. So he had a land. We provide part of the financing to just prepare his campus and all of that. But now he's planning to start a new advanced campus by 2023. So he's already telling us that he will need us to finance the building of this new campus. And of course, he's not going to need just $10,000. He may need $50,000, maybe $100,000, and so on. So we're also experiencing that, which is also a very good plus for us, where people come to us and they're at this particular stage, and now they are growing consistently and needing more capital to scale. And that is also pushing us to start seeing how we can get the right support or capital investment that we can be able to serve these amazing clients that are growing consistently.
How do you source your capital?
Yes, that's the interesting one. So we have never had external investments or capital. Everything that we started is from what is called bootstrapping. So as I said, one of our businesses is a training institute where we used to do training, and that was where we discovered that there is a need to have a financing agency or institution that can finance startup, because I used to go to local microfinances or financial houses, and I lobby for our startup that we have trained for them to give them loans, and they don't want to give them loans because these young people don't have landed collateral security. And that was what led to us creating this COSDEF Finance to fill this gap. So what we did was that we took part of the profit of the training center and I saved some money, we used it, and that's how we started, and we're able to keep on recycling. And after 3 years, this is where we are. And we have not openly asked for investments yet as of now. Our plan was to do that from 2022. Why? Because one of my mission was to make sure that we have the right systems in place. We have the right structures in place. We have the right policies in place. So that when we're talking to investors, we are prepared. We're showing proof of a structure that has a future, not just excitedly saying that we have a startup and to prove something. So for now, as to answer the question, we don't have any external financing or investments.
How is the length of the loan? Is 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years? How long?
Yes, the length of the loans depend on the type of business. Like we have some businesses that they sell every day, like for example, restaurants, like for example, bookshops or bookstores. And, so most of these people, they like to pay in small chunks and small amounts every day, what we like to call daily repayments. They like to do that. And we're currently working on a technology that we can be able to collect that, use an app and collect that for those who have access to the internet, and a GSM technology to collect for those who have access to mobile phones. But that is what we do. And for those, some of them always prefer, I always have a discussion with the clients. Do you prefer 6 months, 8 months, 1 year, and so on? But the highest that we have had is 2 years loan, and the duration is 2 years, and the minimum we have had is 4 months. So like we have had clients who have proposed 6 months, they know I prefer to pay this in 4 months. So, and most of anybody that has paid within 4 months or 6 months, we have noticed that the business they run is a business that experiences daily sales. For example, they're able to pay that on a daily basis, and then they can complete on the 4th month or on the 6th.
You're talking about working capital. You provide them the capital to work daily. That's what they're doing.
Now, not to say capital to work daily, because most of the people that have come to, not most, majority or even all, they have come to us because they need, like we have given financing to people that need to buy new equipment.
Okay.
And we have given financing to people that needs to buy stock that they can use for the next 6 months. So we have not really had that particular financing whereby somebody says, okay, I just need money to run my operations per se. But mainly, the financing we have done has helped them to get stock that they can just stock maybe in their warehouse or wherever and constantly resell or process depending on what they're doing. Equipment acquisition and expansion, maybe opening a new branch in the community or in a nearby community. That's the experience that we have.
Okay. What about this goes to the, let's say, operational more, which I mean, you are not fully tech now, okay? But you are talking about having an application.
Yes.
And the application will help you to grow faster, okay?
Yes.
Now, my question is, how in Cameroon where you are, probably after you are going to move outside and maybe try to get into all Africa, which is an extremely massive country and region. What about continent, actually? What about, how exactly in your mind you want to use the technology, and now and after, how you're going to assess the risk?
Yeah, with one of the major reasons why we did not set out with technology from the beginning, it was an intentional decision because Number one, we didn't want to just replicate existing financing models. We knew that we wanted to try something new, and we had to understand the dynamics in the field, maybe the kind of software, the kind of loans, the durations, the analysis, and so on. And the technology that we're looking at, as you said, is going to help us to reach a bigger market. And we already have a database. Like, for example, it's going to help, let's say, our those who have been working with us as clients for 2 years plus or 3 years, that instead of, for example, instead of them leaving and coming to the office to apply for a business loan, they can sit at the comfort of their home and they can apply that. Why? It's also because we already have their credit history. We have been dealing with them for 2 years plus, and so on. And of course, we need to find a way to see how, okay, first timers, how do we create a better system with technology that can enable us to grant loans efficiently to first timers and so on. But we are looking at how can we efficiently serve old customers that have been with us since the beginning of more than 1 year, where we can clearly talk about or have their credit history or their data that is visible, that the system can quickly use and calculate and decide the funding chances or not, as the case may be.
Today, how do you assess your credit risk? How do you define if you can give the loan or not?
Okay, yes. We assess the credit risk on a couple of things. Number one is on your previous operations here, because majority of the businesses that we have financed have been in existence, but mostly small scale. So we try to assess, we talk to you, we visit your business location. We also leverage strongly on social capital. We try to talk to people in your community about you to be sure of who you are, for example. And secondly, we have also created what we call a guarantor system, where somebody from the community can always vouch for you as part of the process, so that we were able to cover the risks where necessary. But again, working with businesses that have already been in operational have been the best form of minimizing a lot of risks, because we get to know them, see their operations, see how they're going, visit them, advise them. And of course, the repayment, where we have the possibility of these small businesses repaying the loan on a daily basis through our daily collection service, actually reduce the risk, because sometimes it could just be lack of discipline that can cause somebody to default in paying a loan. But when there's that accountability system that holds them accountable to pay on a daily basis in small amounts, it makes the repayment rate very, very high and very productive. That's what we have experienced. We have not had, we have always had 90-something% repayment rate of all the business financing loans that we have given out. We have had, the highest we have had is 94.
Okay. What happens if someone is not going to pay? I mean, you said you allowed them to pay a little bit all the time, so yes, they are facilitated. But do you have any collection in place in case they can't pay you anymore?
Yes, there's a collection in place. There's a collection. We have a team. Part of the team always go out. There are some clients that opt to indicate that I would like to pay on small amounts every single day. Like the minimum amount that we collect on a daily basis on one person is $1. So they could have paid $1, $2, $3, and so on. That's about 500 francs, 1,000 francs, 2,000 francs, depending on the kind of business that they're doing. So that is a system, and that has worked so well for majority of the clients that have chosen that particular method.
Okay. So today, how do they come to you? How do you source your clients?
Okay, we source our clients in a couple of ways. Number one is that the marketing team always go to the field, to the market. So our markets are broken down into small markets in the community. So on what they call market days, or that day that majority of the small and medium-sized business owners come to one place. So we go there. We have flyers like this, where we go and share to them and talk to them about the business, and there are contacts. We can collect contact with follow-up calls. Number two is we also work a lot with churches in the communities. So we go to churches, we do announcement in churches, talk about what we do. We also partner with churches and organize business seminars train them on how to manage their businesses in their small businesses. And at the end, we present what we do, which are all free events. We present, okay, this is how we can support you as an institution if you are serious and committed to build your business. The third way that we also do this is we work a lot with local groups, what we call, there are women's groups, there are youth groups, youth associations, or what you can call them, women developmental associations or youth developmental associations. We work with them, we go visit them, we give our talks, and we share flyers and share about the work that we can do in partnership with them. That's how we get our clients.
What's the interest rate? How much do you charge, and how exactly your business model works? How do you make money?
Our business model is, of course, we make money from the interest rate, and our interest rate per year is 12% per year maximum. That is 1% per month that they're paying. So if you get the business financing loan that we give you, we pay 1% on the amount on a depreciating balance rate. What does that mean? So it means that if you take, let's say, $100 and you pay $10, next month you're going to pay 1% of $90, not 1% of $100. So
Okay.
that depreciates, yeah, and that keeps.
It will apply on the standing balance.
Yes, honestly, absolutely.
So are you raising any fund now?
That is one of our major goals in 2022. I'm happy that we're having this talk in December.
So how much would you like to raise? How much are you raising now?
Our first goal that was going to look at raising is $200,000.
200,000. What's going to be the use of this funding?
Our part is going to go to build, to improve our technology, because again, one of our biggest ways of collecting money or also making money is through this daily collection. So we're able to have a very efficient system that people can use mobile money services and repay their loans and efficiently on time. That will greatly help us in our loan recovery efficiently. So we're looking at investing part of that money in completing that technology that we can use both for GSM and of course an app for that. Secondly, part of that is going to go to opening another branch, because I've been earmarking some areas like we have had leaders in some local communities that have heard about the work that we do, and they have come to us, they have come visit us and request us to come open a branch in their community. So we have also been earmarking some of these communities, semi-urban areas that are very fruitful and they fit the mission, our mission as an institution. We're looking at opening a second branch also in these communities, and of course also recruiting new staff for those branches and of course for the head office.
So you're going to use two, let's say, models. One is online with the mobile, and one is on the venue, right? Brick and mortar. So
yes.
In your mind, where, if you get 250, where you can get with this money, and are you going to use 250 also to provide loans?
Yes, definitely. Part is going to go to provide loans. As I said earlier, even at the particular moment, like for the last 1 year or so, we have always had more people requesting for loans more than what we can provide as far as financing is concerned. We keep having people coming to us, opening, registering their businesses and what they do with us and requesting for more loans, more that we can provide. And of course, we also need to be careful with our limited, so we always have this special attention to older clients who are with us, because the loans are more secure, the financing is more secure than new people and so on. So of course, part of that financing will go to give out loan financing to SMEs.
So how many people work with you? Do you have any co-founders, and how many people are in your team?
Presently, we have a team of 13, and there's one co-founder who is the manager, the acting manager. Yes.
Now, what's your vision for your company? Where do you see COSDEF Finance in 5 years' time, and how are you going to scale your business? Let's say in all Africa, if you can one day?
Yes, I always say this funny thing that my vision is to build the McDonald's version of microfinance in Africa. What does that mean? Like in every community where you go, you're gonna see COSDEF finance. In every rural community, suburban community, you're gonna see it. Why I say I've had the privilege to travel a few countries. I've been to the States, and like it was as if I was like, what kind of restaurant is that? They're everywhere. So that was like, I just admired how they're able to scale to do that. So my dream, I always say that I want to build the McDonald's version of microfinance for low-income earners or small and medium-sized enterprise business. So every semi-urban area that is rising, we want to be there. Every rural area that is rising, we want to be there. That is a dream. And I believe that we have been able to perfect the model, not perfect, but the model is more efficient now than it used to be 3 years ago. And we are reaching at that level whereby we're just going to have systems in place that we just replicate what is already working in more areas and be more efficient, because we have discovered our model and it's efficient, it's producing results, it's creating the impact we desire, and I think we are going on the right path. So that is the overall vision of that. And one of the dreams is that the goals is that by 2025 we want to finance 5,000 SMEs in
That's
Cameroon.
a great goal. I do hope you can get that. So let me close with this one. Why investors should invest in yourself, your co-founder, and COSDEF Finance?
The investor should invest in us, in me, because this mission is non-negotiable. I am not one foot in and one foot out. I have given my life savings into COSDEF Finance. So it was either it works or it doesn't work. So it's like, I went to they wanted to start COSDEF Finance. I went to my small bank and I withdrew everything and I brought it and we rented the office. We took part for the first set of loans we were supposed to give. Everything was given to COSDEF Finance. So I was penniless the day COSDEF Finance started. And I had this conviction that it's going to go places. And I'm so proud of how far it has come. It's able to recruit 13 people, young people who, and all of the staff that we have are all young people. This is their first time to get a full-time job since they left the university. So we're also giving opportunity to young people that giving them employment, putting food on their table, and they're excited to be part of an impactful organization like this. Secondly, there is the need. There is the need. The work that we do, there is the need for this. There's a need for COSDEF Finance. We have seen it firsthand. I have seen it firsthand how there are people at the age of 40 who have never owned a bank account before, and this is their first time to own a bank account. We have seen people who have run businesses for over 10 years, and they have never scaled to a certain level because they used to just manage with their small capital. They never had the opportunity to scale. So there is a need, there is a market, there is that feasible impact. We have seen people that came to us and they were just one-man business, and after 8 months or 1 year, they have recruited another person who is joining them in the business, providing employment in the community. So the investor is investing in a very passionate team, dedicated team, experienced team, a team that is not doing trial and error, a team that is committed to the vision, and a team that believes in the impact that we are creating. And we believe in this. If you come to our staff meeting, you will fully hear the statement that we are building the next big thing in the finance sector in Africa. That's what we always hear in our staff meetings. That's how we call it. This is the next big thing as far as the finance sector is concerned. It may not look like it now, but we know where we are going to.
Job, thank you so much for coming to BizTalk. I do hope you will get there, and I'm pretty sure you will. And again, thank you very much, and all the best for your venture. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Max.